What is the most diverse country in the world? When confronted with questions like this, it would be false to just wander out and simply measure a country's diversity before getting your definition straight. Countries are incredibly complex, made-up structures of our own human mind. And this made-up understanding includes so many aspects of geography, biology, politics, linguistics, theology, and many more. Is a country considered diverse when its people speak many different languages? Or when its political spectrum covers everything from the far right to the far left? Or should these factors be left out completely, and instead, focus should be put upon the skin color of the people or the numbers of different trees found in its forest? Ultimately, everybody has to set their own boundaries for what is to include into the ranking and which factors to neglect for simplicity purposes. For my personal approach to find an answer to this question, I'll base it on two factors which I consider sufficient to draw somewhat reliable conclusions from. Even though a country is made up of a lot more attributes, characteristics, and special features, I will solely base my ranking on the climate within its borders and the ethnic diversity of its people. The climate diversity is chosen for the following reasons. It gives immediate hints about the flora and fauna diversity, since virtually all different climate zones bring a variety of differently adapted species with them. Next to this, the number of different topographical environments can be guessed, since it requires different temperatures and precipitation patterns to actually change a region. As an example, the entirety of Egypt lays within a hot and dry climate zone, and as a result, the only topographical feature you can find is dry desert. South Africa, on the other hand, lays in an area where oceanic, desert, humid subtropical, semi-arid, and tropical savanna climates meet, which gives a huge variety in flora, fauna, and topographical features. The model followed for the determination of the different climate zones is the Köppen climate classification from the German climatologist Vladimir Köppen. The model takes the latitude, temperature, precipitation, distance from the sea, as well as the elevation as the key characteristics. Firstly, every spot on Earth gets a base category assigned to it, which can be tropical, dry, temperate, continental, or polar. From there, a second letter indicating the precipitation and a third letter indicating the temperature is added. After these three steps, the world is split into 30 different climate types, and a diversity comparison can be conducted between the different countries. A quick glimpse on the map, which is colored in the patches of Köppen's climate zone definitions, already gives us a hint of which countries will collect the most points here. The US, as well as China, do not just cover a huge area each, these areas also cover a huge spectrum of climate zones, which grants both countries the shared first place. Other notable contestants are India, Mexico, and Peru, which are standing out with 16, 13, and 13 different climate zones respectively. The second figure which determines a country's diversity, according to my personal set of criteria, is the ethnic diversity of its people. Since a person's ethnicity has no biological background, but instead is based on the person's subjective understanding of similarities within language, ancestry, culture, or society, my own boundaries and set of rules come into play again. For the ethnical diversity ranking, I'll be using the landmark study from the Harvard Institute of Economic Research from the year 2002. The system used by this study asks random people from every country and compares the odds of multiple people identifying as part of the same ethnic group. As an example, a short questionnaire could have looked as follows. If a Chinese immigrant in the countryside of Malaysia and a random worker in a factory in the other half of the country are asked with which ethnicity they would identify themselves with, and both people say Malaysian, it would give a low ethnic diversity score. As an opposite example, we can take two Rwandese farmers. Since both people come from different tribal backgrounds, they may identify as different ethnicities, even though both have lived within the same country borders for generations. This method is a great way of identifying the odds of a country's population personally identifying themselves as part of the same ethnic group, and it gives a round picture of the ethnic diversity within. The results of this survey can be seen in a map, and clear trends between Eurasia and formerly colonized countries can be identified. With both datasets for the ethnic and topographical diversity of a country at hand, it's finally possible to determine the most diverse country in the world. While there are a few countries like Mexico, Colombia, or India standing out in both statistics, a clear leader of the combined rankings can also be found, with a total of 11 different climate zones according to the Köppen climate classification map. This country ranks as the 7th most diverse country by its climate and geography. At the same time, its ethnic diversity is one of the highest in the world due to a long colonial history and civil unrests in the past. According to my assessment methods, the title of the most diverse country in the world goes to South Africa. To finalize the video, it's important to note that these characteristics are subjectively chosen by myself, and every other person may use different metrics and different methods for the assessment of the data. I'm looking forward to hearing your personal candidate for the most diverse country in the world and what kind of characteristics you would include for the assessment.